Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, January 26th. Man, we have so much momentum going right now across the industry on this show. We have so much to talk about. We're going to start with a really, really big investment.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me.
That Wednesday bounce.
No need to repeat. Watch you fall to your knees.
I don't know. I've been waking up in the middle of the night thinking about everything that's going on.
No doubt.
It's so good. There's just a lot of stuff moving right now. Get a couple things out of the way really quick. Next week, we are going in hot with Clubhouse again. The Clubhouse rooms, if you remember last year, were just an amazing source of conversation and insight. We took a little break. We're bringing them back full force Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, collabing on a rule on Friday. We're talking women inspiring automotive, minority motors, all things used cars. We're jumping in to bump David Long's room and everything he's created there. And Kyle, Pitch Tank is back.
Let's go. Yeah, we've got a couple. If you're watching and you're like, I've never done Pitch Tank, I don't know what Pitch Tank is, reach out to us, hit us in the comments. We'd love to get your company on there. We've got a couple already lined up for that first one back, and really excited to bring that back into the Clubhouse space.
Yeah, Pitch Tank, just so you know, it's like kind of Shark Tank for automotive, kind of. Automotive vendors come in, have to give 2-minute pitch of their product. When was the last time you got to hear 3 minutes? When was
3 minutes?
When was the last time you got to hear a 3-minute pitch from a vendor? Like crickets. I wish we had that sound effect. So you're going to get it all in 3 minutes, and then you get to hear what a bunch of the savviest marketers and tech heads in automotive think about it. So they're going to help you flesh that out. So Pitch Tank is going to be Wednesday, right?
That's it.
Bottom line is email on the bottom of the screen, asodu.com. Sign up for the email list. So when that shoots out on Monday morning, you'll have all the dates, times, topics, etc. So good. Get that out of the way. There was a big GM announcement yesterday, Kyle. Wow. Did you see it?
No,
I knew it was gonna. I knew it wasn't gonna be little.
You put it in the show notes, and I was like, okay, that's a thing. Yeah.
You go ahead. Give a summary.
Well, no, I mean, it's $7 billion, massive participation from Michigan, right? A lot of incentives, and we're seeing states across the country pump in a ton of incentives into factory rebuilds, reman. $30 billion through 2025. It's just insane numbers to push into manufacturing, and for an industry that is birthed out of Detroit, right, in the U.S. at least, and for Michigan to press into the new EV structure, really, really exciting, and obvious that the pickup truck segment right now is kind of like all eyes on it, right? There's been efficiency around cars and small SUVs crossovers with EV, but with the Lightning and with Rivian kind of hot on the trail, GM needing to be in that space, the pickup trucks are obviously kind of like where all eyes are, especially because when you look at federal regulations on miles per gallon standards into 2030, you're really, if you can take that truck segment and get it either out of there or less volume of sales and push that into EV, you obtain that mile per gallon average across your full fleet a lot quicker.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with, a lot of the higher end of the industry will understand that. If you're kind of entering in, so basically the government regulates how many miles per gallon on average. So you take a manufacturer's car, add them all together, divide them by that number, and whatever that average miles per gallon is what they kind of get incentivized on and penalized on. So if you think about, a truck is going to have like the higher miles per gallon and drag that average miles per gallon down. So it makes sense to shift that first out of the equation. So your miles per gallon go way up again. And so It's cool to see like this happening in Michigan, right? Like Detroit, the OG, like the American car business, the founding of it, and to see Michigan like really taking a big swing. Michigan almost kicked in $1 billion, right, in incentives to make it happen. And CEO Mary Barra of GM said the investment would make Michigan the epicenter of the electrical vehicle industry. That's a big statement.
Strong.
That
statement.
is a big statement.
Elon is like, but Texas.
But that sounds good. But look what I'm already doing. So, But hey, like it's a game. You catch up, right? Like It's how it works. It's how it works.
Yep.
And so Ford, the first truck is going to be out this year, right? This spring.
Yeah, spring they're saying.
And GM is kind of like really firing up. They're saying 2023 for their EV pickup. And we'll see when the Cybertruck gets released, and it'll just be a race. But speaking of focusing on EV technology,
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
There's an article in the Wall Street Journal today about a Korean battery brand. You may have heard of this brand, LG, right? Your refrigerator's an LG, your TV's an LG, right? So now your EV battery may very well be manufactured by LG. So South Korean company, South Korea's LG Energy Solutions Limited, they have an audacious plan to dominate the world electric vehicle battery industry by one branding strategy. We're not Chinese, right? So I was like, that's bold. That's bold.
This is like I theoretically see a new commercial coming into play that's like very similar to the Mac. The Mac.
I'm a Mac. I'm a PC.
Windows. I'm a Mac. I'm a PC. Like of the early 2000s, right? It's like the same branding strategy, but I'm not that, right?
Right. But that guy's got a camera taped to his head. Yeah. And so basically, the strategy is this. They're saying, the battery manufacturing capability. South Korea very technologically advanced, and they're saying like, look, there's a trade war brewing. There's public perception issues. They're saying like, hey, we're known for making good electronics. We're known for being, separated, obviously, from China and, whatever's going on over there. And there's a really great trade relationship between the US and South Korea and like Europe and South Korea. So they're getting in the game big time. And I think it's kind of very entrepreneurial and opportunistic to be like, hey, this is public perception, right? So we're gonna play to that. It's probably interesting. When the news broke yesterday, some people started getting their first COVID test from the White House. Did you order yours?
No.
I wanted to see how fast it would come, actually. So from an e-commerce from an e-commerce perspective, go on the website. It actually bounces you into a USPS website. So and you make the order through USPS, and you just like, hey, you put in your address. And they're like, okay, you'll see it in 7 to 12 days. So we'll see. Mine hadn't showed up, but the first one showed up, and people are like, oh, look, we got our COVID test. And then they're like, made in China. Right. So it's like, oh, how does this work? Like the whole thing, right? Like, where'd it come from? Where's it going? Who's getting the contracts? And so like, it just feels like South Korea, even adds more to their thing. Like, hey, whatever the perception is, and like, we're going to do it. So go for that. Right. And I will stay on the EV trend today, right? Because we got some news talking about chips. And
no, so there was a study done, and it's kind of a trailing indicator study, but essentially changing from like a 40-day supply on chips is what U.S. manufacturers had pre-pandemic and pre-chip shortage.
Not just automotive. This is across across commerce,
across industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're dealing with a 5-day chip supply, at least for U.S. manufacturers, right? And they said that actually some segments in key industries are actually dealing with a lower day supply, right? So like you think about that, and when auto dealers think day supply, they think vehicle day supply, right? And we saw a lot of other dealers over the past on used vehicle supply go from like a 60-day supply down to a 25-day supply, and hovering in that 20 to 25-day supply range where we're turning things faster than we can recover the inventory. And that's the case in a lot of industries that are utilizing chips. So really interesting report. I don't think it's outside of like everyone kind of knows that's the reality, but to see the raw data behind it as far as like how much we actually have and how quickly we can recover the inventory, whether that be EVs or computers or auto manufacturing, any of those places, to be at a 5-day supply of something like that, which is, what is that, an eighth of the typical supply on chips? We're going to be in this for a hot minute.
It's pretty tight. I wonder at what point it regulates back out. Like, are we going to balance out at like a 20-day supply, right? Because I mean, I don't know. All types of things are going to change as a result of this, and we're still many, many months away from understanding where that is for sure. Wonder what is going on this week in your store. in the industry. Like I don't think we ask enough questions on this podcast.
Yeah.
We do ask a lot of questions, but I don't think we have enough like probing questions, right? Like what is something in your store? Cause we're talking high level. So we're talking chips and we're talking EVs and trade wars and all that. But you showed up this morning in your store, or you're heading in, or you're logging in to serve some dealers this morning. And what is it that's on your mind? Like, what is it that you are trying to accomplish this week? Let us know. Hit us in the comments or send us an email. We have an email address now, an ASOTU email address to people to send stuff to.
Yeah, they can hit us at crew@asotu.com, and hey, we'll check that for sure. So crew@asotu.com and
Crew, CREW.
CREW, and let us know. Yeah, if you have questions or things that are going on that we should be paying attention to, or that we should be talking about, kind of giving some insights, or maybe bringing experts into. We want to do that. So yeah,
I think we're going to try to bring more. Crew@asotu.com. I think we should do that more. Bring some experts in. Right, have the little window shift where like the third person shows up. Like we should do that more. We just should, because it's because people get tired of this. They get tired of this.
Yeah, and it's the same face on both screens basically. So yeah, let's get some new faces up in here. I like it.
Yeah, but we'll ship you a hat. We'll ship you a hat so you can wear the hat. There's been something going on this week, that you and I have been talking about, and I thought it'd be nice to just like get this mindset and this principle out there as the kind of incurable entrepreneurs, as the people that, of course, we got twinning going on, as the incurable entrepreneurs, where there's a lot of opportunity happening all the time. Often kind of ask the question to ourselves, like, what should we stop doing? Like, are we doing too much? Right. I've asked that question. You've asked that question. We've asked it together. What should we start doing? What should we stop doing? And our business coach, David Meltzer, he really had some interesting insight into that question. And he says, you're thinking about it all wrong. What you need to do is start thinking about how everything works together, like how you can develop synergies between the different lanes. And just naturally speaking, the things you should stop doing will pop up. But focusing on how they work together is far more impactful to your life and to your business than anything else. And so
I was thinking about this, and kind of pairing it with the kind of like infinite game strategy from, or not strategy, but theories
mindset
from Simon Sinek and mindset.
Summarize that real quick. Infinite game mindset, meaning there's not a beginning and the end to the game, like a football game. Right. This is a game that continually gets played. You can't win or lose. You can only say, am I improving or not improving?
And it's also wrapped in, there's a lot of like wrapping the infinite game in, his start with why theories, where like, if there's no winning or losing, you're like, the trajectory is also where everything is aligned that you're doing with your core why. So like the businesses that you're a part of, the people that you're integrated with, all that type of stuff. So I was thinking about that. It's like, okay, so if you're doing multiple things, if there's things that you're engaged with or want to pick up or put down, like, are they aligned with a core strategy of yours or a core desire or belief? And are you marching at all of them with the reality that like there's no win or lose, there's just go. Right. And I think that's what we're starting to figure out, is like, it's pressing forward because we have this core belief, and both of us have a very similar core belief that the retail automotive industry is the absolute best place for vehicle distribution, for sales, for service, for fixed ops, for community engagement, for all of those types of things. And that if anything that we're doing and we're a part of is moving that forward, then we're going to continue to be a part of it, right? And I think that like pairing the kind of like synergy of start stop and the infinite game /why it has been really key for me this week. So
good. Well, we're going to leave it with that because we try to keep it short. Whatever you're doing today, spend a minute. Think about where the synergies are, how they serve one another. And if you do that, I guarantee you it'll become very obvious what you should be doing more of. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's go.